Welcome to Gabe's Cave. I'm Darren. I don't have a hat on. Today we are at a remote location in the Outback. Not really. We're actually at our sponsor's place. This is the RPG Clubhouse. Our building that we were in before is currently, we're moving out of it. So there's no internet there. There's no nothing there. And it's just in boxes for the most part. So we have our con set up here at our, like I said, remote location. And we're working on a new building. So the Gabe's Cave side of it should be done within a next couple of weeks. No promises. But that should be coming pretty soon. Until then, we're going to have to do a couple little episodes here from our table and con setup. Other than that, I want to say thanks to our sponsors for letting us use this building and just everything they do for us. It's RPG, rpghiring.com. Make sure you check them out. Just want to say thank you again to the sponsors. They're awesome for letting us do everything that we do. Now, let's go right into the topic of today. Darren, what is the topic of today? You already read the title. You know what it is. Why even ask me?
Let's go! Let's get and eat and scoot too.
But I'm going to tell you anyways. And that is MetaZoo. MetaZoo is a new TCG or trading card game coming out. They had a really good Kickstarter launch, and they've got some other stuff coming out. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, and then we had a really, really awesome time. We got to interview Michael Waddell, the creator of MetaZoo, at the Collecticon here recently. And I'm going to show the interview to you in just a minute. But first, I just want to say thank you to Michael and thank you to Mario for explaining to me about the game and everything else. This game is going to be really, really cool. This is not a sponsored ad. This is just Gabe's Cave doing what Gabe's Cave does, interviews really cool people, and wants to try new things like a new game. But first off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about MetaZoo because I don't really remember what all the interview goes over. So, anyways, MetaZoo takes place in like our dimension or our reality, and basically it's like 1,000 years ago there was like magic, right? So there was magic back then, but there was a veil cast over our world 1,000 years ago, and then magic like disappeared. Like, magic, and then, back when there was knights and dragons and stuff, and then just so happened to go away, and it's just fake magic now. Well, something happens a little bit in the future. I think it's in the future, but something happens a little bit ahead of time or whatever, and the veil is lifted, and then you are automatic, or you all of a sudden start seeing these cryptids like Sasquatch and Mothman and stuff, and they've just been walking around with you in everyday life, but they've been invisible because of this veil. So basically, MetaZoo takes place where now there's all these creatures, these cryptids, and you're seeing them now. So the game is based off of that, which is a really cool game though, because the game is not like anything else, but it's also like a bunch of other things. So it's like kind of art style. It reminds me a little bit of Pokemon, but the gameplay reminds me a little bit of Magic. And even more so, it's got this fourth wall thing where basically if you're in the woods and you play a Sasquatch character, and he's a woodland creature, so if you're in the woods, he gets more bonus. And what I mean by that is like we literally, like in Arkansas right here where Gabe's Cave is, we live in the woods. There's a forest all around us. That means that Sasquatch would have a buff here. If you live in the mountains and there's a mountain creature, that creature gets a buff. If it's raining and you have a water creature, that creature gets a buff. If it's raining and in the woods. So that fourth wall is literally your surroundings where you're playing at. So you kind of have to be careful what your deck is and what you're playing at the time. And that to me is really, really cool. And I think that was really cool to Chris as well, who did the interview. And I want to say thank you to Michael Waddell, the creator of MetaZoo, for doing an interview with us and telling us about it. And also Mario, who was there at Collecticon, who showed me everything and walked me around and just told me about it all. And I got to meet a bunch of people there. And also for giving me some really cool stuff. I got a MetaZoo, a couple MetaZoo comics here, which is like the story, like the chapter 1 of Cryptid Nation, the story. Oh, and Cryptid Nation is their first like series. I don't know what they're calling it for sure. Like I don't exactly know how to describe it, but it's like basically the first series of cards, and it's basically takes place in America, and it's American cryptids or cryptozoology. I don't know what they call it. Anyways, it's these mythical creatures that are American, and it takes place on Route 66, and they're chasing after somebody. I haven't read the book, all of it yet, but anyways. Also, thank you, Mario, for giving me these awesome packs, which I don't know if I'm opening them yet or not. I have not decided. Really cool artwork on the front of them, and I'm kind of worried about pricing after I open it, and then I'm like, do I do it or not? But anyways, hopefully we can get our hands on a box eventually, and we can tear them open, and we can play. I know Gabe and I do want to play it. We were big into Magic for a little while there, and I would love to play a new game like this, and I know Chris wants to play it as well. So, also, I got one of these really cool gold packs. I don't know what's in it. If anybody's opened one, or if I can find one, I may pull it up on here. I don't know what's in it. Like I said, it's a Collecticon exclusive, and I got a couple of these really cool business cards with a Collecticon, and it's like a goblin elf thing riding a rocket. It's really neat. And also, Mario, again, thank you for giving me a Mothman, which Michael in the story in the interview tells you that this whole game was based off of Mothman, because that was like the first creature he saw in a movie that got him into cryptids, and he really just kind of loved the cryptids in learning about them and all that stuff, and they made it the game in the first pack after Mothman. And Mario was kind enough to give me a hollow Mothman here, which is really cool, and I have not taken it out. I don't really want to. Yeah, really, really awesome. Thank you. So we'll get right into the interview with Michael. Hopefully you enjoy it, and I will talk to you afterwards.
Hey, welcome everybody to Gabe's Cave. We are at Collecticon number 2 here in Frisco, Texas. This is the second one. We were here on the first one. I think y'all remember, because we interviewed Gary King Pokemon. We interviewed Breaking Nate. We had a fun time. We had a lot of new subscribers, and we've met a lot of them to come back, and they're like, hey, Gabe's Cave, you guys are back. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like what we do. And seeing as how this is what we do, we've got this gentleman here. I'm going to let him introduce himself. He is a creator of a new game that's coming out called MetaZoo. Go ahead and tell the people who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, thanks first of all for having me, and I appreciate it. I'm Michael Waddell. I'm the creator of MetaZoo. It is a new TCG or trading card game that's based off of cryptids and creatures of lore that we have here in the U.S. So Bigfoot, Mothman, Chupacabra, and about 90 other ones that we're working on that you guys can actually get in card form. July 30th is our first edition release.
Awesome. Now, how did you, what was your childhood like? Were you like a, stay at home all the time guy? And
No, I mean, so I was pretty social. I am an introvert, but I read a lot of manga. I watched a lot of anime, a lot of comic books, and I fell in love with Pokemon and Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I always had the dream to create my own TCG, and finally, at the age of 31, I can do that and financially justify it, and it's been great.
You told me you didn't grow up in the States.
That's right. No, I grew up in Brazil, so I was there from 7 or 8 to 18, and so I actually wasn't here in the U.S. to be part of cryptid culture. I could only really experience it through media, and so I fell in love with it. I watched. I think my first real love in the cryptid world was Mothman. I was in Brazil and I watched Mothman Prophecies, and it came out and it scared the crap out of me. So, and I've been in love with cryptids ever since.
Right? We're gonna get to some, but I want to jump way ahead of myself and ask a question. Who's the most powerful cryptid in your game?
Ooh, so it depends. It depends on how you play the game, right? Certain decks will make certain cryptids more powerful than others. However, Mothman has what we call a win condition, where basically, if you're able to guess he has a move called Mothman Prophecies, where if you're able to guess a card that's in your opponent's hand, then you win the game. It can't be an aura card, which is our resource card.
Right.
But that ability is actually connected to the lore of Mothman, right? So Mothman has a history of showing up and being kind of prophetic ahead of disasters.
Right, yes.
Right? So all of our cards, especially the cryptid cards, have a connection to their backstory that's represented in their abilities.
And you actually do have a backstory.
Yeah.
Story.
That's right. Yeah. So obviously, cryptids are real and they're everywhere, right?
Absolutely.
Bigfoot
is real for sure.
Bigfoot is real. So,
for sure.
For sure. And so we can't tell a story that's already happened in the past. So we actually jump 10 years into the future, and we have the MetaZoo story taking place in a world where cryptids are actually walking amongst us in everyday life.
They got tired of hiding.
They got tired of hiding, basically. No, but like the whole idea is the reason why they're hard to film and all this is because for the past 1,000 years, there's been this veil that's separating them from us. And that's why magic disappeared from 1,000 years ago. That's why miracles no longer happen. And then all of a sudden, with MetaZoo being released, kind of coincides with this veil shattering. And all of a sudden, magic returns, and the cryptids come out of hiding. And the first non-blurry photos of Bigfoot are taken, and it's and it's magical.
Yeah, there's a big blurry monster running around in the woods. It's completely terrifying.
Exactly. So. And that's coming out in illustrated story form. I'm writing it myself. The first chapter's already out. The second chapter is being released this week. And the plan is for that illustrated story to really drive the underlying lore of the game.
How did this start?
So it's been kind of in the back of my head for years. I was working kind of a really boring suit and tie job as a banker. And 4 years ago, I decided that I wanted to make a game, and I kind of late at night before going to sleep, I'd have an idea of a card, and I'd write it on the back of a napkin or something, or a scrap piece of paper, and all of a sudden that pile got really high of ideas and the kind of creatures that I wanted to do, and with COVID. It finally kind of came to fruition where it was like, all right, I got to do this or like.
And they said nothing good was going to come from it.
And yeah, so I pulled the trigger on it. And I was like, let's just do this, and I did it.
That's really cool. So, your friends, were they a bunch of yes men, or were they like really like, oh man, it can't be like that? How was your team? Because that's important. When like these comic book guys, they'll tell you all the time that it starts out with a mention, and then it's a push.
So really the team that you see right now and the team that's been working on it, they are OG fans. They joined the Discord back in last May, really. And they were like, I want to work with you. I believe in this. And, as I'm sure like any new trading card game, it's very, very hard to get it off the ground or even to get it to like where we are right now. And so the majority of people, until we took off, were naysayers. So the fact that these, initial employees and volunteers were the original fans, that's really the only way that this happened. Is through their support. And like the hours that they put in and continue to put in a lot of work.
That's impressive. It's good to have a tight-knit team, and we've heard that from almost everybody we've interviewed about how important it is to have people that have your back and that support you. And what we are lucky enough to be at Gabe's Cave is to be able to support everybody like this, and we love this. I mean, when I was walking around outside, I was doing my Uncle Nasty thing, and I'm handing out people little flyers, trying to get them to come by and see us so we can give them some free things. I had 3 different people ask me in the line if I knew where MetaZoo was inside the con so they could go straight there basically and beat the crowd. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I was like, but I'll try to figure it out. Well, then I was having to try to figure out what is MetaZoo anyway. It's when I figured out it was a new game. They stayed busy yesterday for the most part. I went over there and I stood back behind a bunch of people and I kind of waited till it thinned out so I could get over and talk to them. They were nice enough to hook me up with a Kickstarter pack.
Yep.
And what was the card in the clear sleeve?
So we have a Collecticon business card that actually has a cryptid on it, a ding bell. But yeah, no, it's specific to this con, yeah. Which is pretty amazing. We want to do that with every con.
I also got a little storybook as well. It's still It's still unopened. I'm debating on whether or not I want to take the plastic off of it and look in it.
Yeah, it has a security sticker on it, so when you do,
they'll know it's
they'll
been
know.
opened.
Yeah, it's been open.
Ah,
I know. I have to do it though. I want that to be a struggle every time you open up something. It's kind of like I really want to keep it sealed, but I really want to see what's inside. And I think
none of us. We're all ever. I think me, Darren, and Brandon. We've all, and Marty even. We've all decided that we're gonna buy the packs when they come out on the 30th. If we can get our hands on some.
Yeah, they should be in hundreds of game stores. A lot of companies have already done pre-orders online, but they should be brick and mortar, and you should be able to walk in and actually buy a pack from your local game store.
And see, Gabe's Cave is opening their own.
Oh wow!
store.
Okay.
So we're going to be looking forward into trying to be able to get in there and be maybe the first place in our area, anywhere around us, really, where you'd be able to go get MetaZoo.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
So the game's about cryptids. They all have their own individual powers.
Yep.
Tell me about, I'm the Bigfoot guy, so I want to know what is Bigfoot? What is he doing?
So Bigfoot actually he gains invisibility, which means he can't be directly attacked if you are within 1 mile of a forest. So that kind of talks to the other big mechanic of the game, which is that your surroundings actually impact how the game is played. So if you're playing a bunch of forest beasties or cryptids, you actually get boosts to damage, you get increased health, you get things like invisibility for the, in the case of Bigfoot, if you're playing next to a forest. And if you're playing when it's raining or if it's night out, those environmental factors actually impact the power of your cards, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So much into these games, man. I and like seeing people's faces over like Pokemon, and see how excited they get, about the game. It's like, I don't know how I never got into that. Like, I stream video games on Facebook. Like, I'm a big nerd too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never got into any of that. And it makes me disappointed in myself. Like, what were you thinking?
It's never too late though, And
So that's why I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Because this is my type of thing anyway. I like cryptids. I would have spent my entire life looking for the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot and Mothman and all that. And Chupacabras, if I could do that for a living, that's what I'd be doing. Like, I'd be out there with my army gear on still, just marching through the jungles looking for all these animals, trying to prove it exists.
And maybe we can convince the Discovery Channel to do a show where MetaZoo and we go out and we try to find these cryptids, and they pay for us to go about the world.
Wow.
That'd be the dream.
Somebody clip this and send it to somebody in Discovery Channel. We know one of you guys out there has got a buddy that has an uncle, has a nephew that does some producing for Discovery Channel.
Hey, as long as they pay for it, I'm all for it,
Make it happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Make it happen. So, is there anything else you'd like to tell these guys? You told them July 30th is when it's going to come out,
yep.
and it ought to be in your local stores close to you.
I can't stress enough how much of a community-driven game we are. Go on MetaZooGames.com, join our Discord. We have people who are posting fan art every day, and it's amazing. They're playing on Tabletop Simulator. They're using webcams to play with each other before it releases. But we actually select our artists from the fans that make art. So by participating in the community, you actually can become part of MetaZoo.
That is so cool, man. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Show everybody your stuff, man. He brought goodies to show you guys so you can kind of see what's going on here.
So this is the Kickstarter box, and it has 36 packs in it. We're giving out these packs for free right now. The box itself is sold at retail for $99, but because there's so few of these, you can find them on eBay for like $2.5K. Or you can stop by our booth and at these conventions we'll be handing them out. We have different.
I wanted to buy a whole box yesterday. You told me no.
So here we have the Hodag,
wow.
Which is I believe it's out of Wisconsin. We have Piazza Bird, which is actually painted on the side of a rock face, I believe I want to say Utah. I'm not sure exactly.
That's an interesting looking cryptid.
Yeah, and so apparently they date the painting back to like 1500s, but it's like a really beautiful, like almost like mural,
Right.
just on the side of this rock. We have Babe the Blue Ox as a pack art.
Babe. Y'all know who Babe is.
No, it's Babe.
Is Babe a kaiju?
Well, you know, he is big. I think that he we might have to redefine that. I think maybe when the Japanese sets come out,
Wow.
with the yokai, we can have a kaiju special rare of Babe the Blue Ox, and then of course we have Mothman, which is like the big
Mothman.
chase card, you know. And why don't you keep those, and you guys can just hang on to them. But yeah, so you know we're
We also have a gift for this young man. We're also making you goodie bags, but
nice.
a
Oh,
Gabe's Cave tumbler.
thank you very much.
And,
I
and
will.
We've got bags with like comic books of
Swags.
ours that Tone Rodriguez, the artist, did, and he'll sign
wow.
that for you guys for free. And we'll
Awesome.
we'll give one to everybody in your crew.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
really. This is my first convention. I'm having a blast, and hopefully I'll see you at other ones too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You said you were here last year, right?
Yeah, we were here at the last one. Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll be at Cowtown in Dallas, and that's coming up. And if you don't know about that one,
Yeah,
when
let me
we
know.
get done with this, I will walk you straight to the guy that's putting it on
Okay.
and introduce you to him.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that.
It's Chris Hayes. Hey, Chris. Man, dude, I appreciate you coming by
Yeah, of
and telling
course.
everybody about this, man. It was awesome, dude. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm 36 years old, guys, and I'm finally going to start playing a card game.
Never too late. You know, it's 2021, man. We can do this.
I've got a bunch of friends that would do it with me. They
Yeah.
really would. They would come over to the house and play. And I know Darren would play, so even if my normal friends, y'all won't do it, I've got friends that will do it.
Good.
I'm
because-
a welder. Like,
Yeah.
I got an NCCR card. Like, my friends like that I work with, they're like, "You're going where? You're doing what?"
Hey, you know, having diverse interests is it's a luxury we can afford, right?
That's right. The
why
type
not?
of people you meet here, it's amazing.
Yeah.
There is some type of everybody here.
It's cool to be a nerd now. I love it.
Absolutely it is.
I love it.
You got to go watch one of our TikTok videos we made with a guy who's like, I don't know, millions of TikTok followers. And we were at the Dallas Card Show, and he came in. And he was like, "Man, will you make a card? Will you make a TikTok with me?" He was like, "I want to come in and call you guys nerds, and I want you to get really offended." It's like he comes in and he's like, "Look at all these nerds," and I like jump up, and he's actually talking to Allison, and I run up and I like get in his face, and when he turns around, I push him real hard, and he sells it like a WWE wrestler.
Oh, no.
He needs a contract because he went like flipping across the ground. Everybody in there, nobody knew what was going on, so they're all turned around looking like they thought a real fight was happening, but it got thousands upon thousands upon
Oh, wow.
thousands of views on TikTok, and we appreciate, hey, Evil YT, what's up, guy? Evil Hero.
Yeah, no, it's this being my first convention, like nothing really like dramatic or exciting has happened other than meeting like amazing people. But I feel like the more that I go to, the more I'll see stuff like that. And,
Yeah, man.
And it'll be, I'm excited for the next year or two of these like conventions and the memories that will form as MetaZoo's kind of launching. And this is definitely going to be one of the highlights of the convention, of my first convention. So I appreciate it.
Oh, man, absolutely, brother. It's Uncle Nasty from Gabe's Cave. We love you, viewers. We love all our artists and all our creators. See y'all in just a few.
All right. Thank you again to Collecticon and MetaZoo for allowing us to interview you. The interview was awesome. We're looking forward to it, and hopefully when we get our store open, maybe we can get you guys in our store. Because, like I said, we're gonna have some tables and stuff. I know in the store, and we're gonna have where people can come in and play. And I know Gabe and I would like to play it as well. Now, I guess we should move on. We do have to give some cards away. Allison, you found us some winners earlier today. We're going to run that now and give our cards away, which were Jay Lipson, right? Yes, Jay Lipson. We're in a different location. I don't have them in my hand. So anyways, running that now. Congratulations to the winners. We love you all. Especially the loot box winner, because loot boxes are really cool because we get to see what goes in them, and there's a lot in there. Sometimes you win Series 1 cards, and after Series 2 rolls around, and the people who didn't type in their right address in the link below whenever you do the giveaway form, they don't get their card because they didn't type it in, and we don't know how to contact you. So we stick those in loot boxes eventually because we don't keep them. The whole thing with the artists is we told everybody we wouldn't keep their cards, so we don't. Anyways, don't be discouraged if you win in a loot box because they're really cool. I know Cody Fonseca did a really cool interview, or a loot box opening on YouTube. He kind of went over some stuff, and there was another one on there as well. Thanks, Cody. We saw that, and we liked it. Now we should go to this week's artist. Which we're actually starting over. We've hit a point. We have one more artist to interview, and we're trying to nail down a time for that. And other than that, we're going to start over and go through. So there's not going to be an interview video if you want to see that. This next the artist this week is Cyrus Sherkat, and that is on Season 2, Episode 1. So like I said, we're starting over. If you want to see the interview with Cyrus, make sure you go check that out and see the cards that you missed out on. But I don't think you missed out on anything because the cards we have here today are really awesome. And this is what we have. We have ourselves a Pennywise. No. We have ourselves a Pennywise. We have ourselves a Indiana Jones looking at the gold idol from the first movie. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to readjust this here. For the first movie, which is probably one of my favorites, we have ourselves a White Walker guy. I don't remember what he's called. I know he's from Game of Thrones. He's like the bad guy. Or is he really the bad guy? Because I think some of the family members are probably worse than him, but they make him out to be the bad guy. He probably just wants people to leave him alone. I don't know. We have ourselves a Scorpion. We've got a Voldemort. We have, is it Freddy? Is that Freddy? I don't know horror movies. You guys know that. Yeah, I'm sorry. We have a Yondu. I need to readjust this. Sorry. We have ourselves a Yondu Udanta from Guardians of the Galaxy. That is the his name Michael Rooker, I believe, version of it. We have ourselves a Palpatine, Darth Sidious, the Senate himself, right here. We have a Maul right next to him. It's a really awesome Maul. Doctor Doom, and we have Caesar, which apes strong together. And Caesar is off of Planet of the Apes if you have not seen it. This is a really good set of cards. I don't even know that I could choose a favorite just because there's so much detail. They're so awesome. Cyrus, you're really cool. Allison says Yondu. I really like Yondu, but I don't like him as much as I do Star-Lord. However, because I haven't seen it yet, I'm probably going to say Indiana Jones with the golden idol at the first. You know, where he goes in there and he's like, and he puts the bag of sand there, and it's still, the giant ball comes after him anyways. Sorry, man. You didn't get it quite there. But in that scene, you can also see an Easter egg of C-3PO and R2-D2 on the wall next to him because George Lucas actually came up with both Indiana Jones and Star Wars. The more you know. I think that was the first one. I don't think it was the second. Might be the first one or the second one. I don't think it's the third one. Yeah. Anyways, back to the point. Make sure that you go to the link in the description below. The first link should be, it says gabescave.com/giveaways. Fill that link out if you want to win one of these cards, and fill it out truthfully because we don't actually use your information other than sending you a card. So there's nothing to worry about because we're a tiny YouTube channel that wants to give away free stuff. And we like to give shout outs to artists because that's what we like. If you haven't noticed from our normal setup where we have so much art, we're kind of art nerds, but specifically like this type of pop culture art. Anyways, fill that out. Give us a like. Give us subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us what you do and don't like, and then you get entered to win one of these free cards, these free awesome cards by Cyrus. And I don't know if you've checked his eBay, or not his eBay. I don't know if you've checked eBay. Don't pay for those. Get Cyrus to do something for you because that actually goes to the artist. But anyways, I don't know if you've checked eBay, but these things are going like crazy, and you could get one for free. So, if you liked the video, leave a like. And if you didn't like our new setup, let us know. But we don't care because we're not going to stay here very long.
Let's go!
Anyways, thank you for being here. And I guess I'm going to pull a Gabe and say bye. Oh, wait. No, thank our sponsor one more time. Thank you, RPG, for allowing us to be here. Thank you, MetaZoo, for doing the interview. And thank you, Mario, one more time for all this awesome stuff. Now I'm going to say bye. Bye.